Hi, I'm Clara from OnlineFabricStore. Zipper pouches are handy to have around for carrying or organizing many different items, from cosmetics and jewelry to phones and technology accessories. This is an easy project and also a good introduction to zippers. So let's get started. The materials you'll need are an outside fabric, this is Premier Prints Rosa Flamingo, a fabric for the lining, I'm using Premier Prints Polka Dot Candy Pink White, interfacing, which is optional, thread, a cutting mat and rotary cutter or scissors, a zipper, a fabric marker, and a ruler. First, I'm going to cut the outer and inner fabric and the interfacing. This zipper is 5 inches long, which will be the width of the pouch, and it will be 4 inches tall. I'll be using a 3/8 inch seam allowance, so add that amount times 2 to your measurements. In total, the outer and lining pieces are 4 3/4 by 5 3/4 inches. You can use the first piece you cut as a template for the rest of the pieces. Interfacing is optional, but it makes the pouch sturdier. A medium weight interfacing works well, or if you want a little padding, try a fleece interfacing like this. If you're using a fusible interfacing, meaning it can be ironed on, I like to cut it to the finished size of the pouch, so 4 by 5 inches. This will cut down on the bulk at the seams and corners. To reduce the bulk even more, cut off the corners. Lay the outer fabric wrong side up and place the interfacing in the center with the shiny fusible side down. Hold the iron in place for a couple of seconds, then move it to fuse the rest of the piece. Turn the fabric over and press the front slowly. Turn it back over and make sure the edges are well attached. Repeat for the other outer piece. Next, I'm going to attach the zipper to the outer and lining pieces. First, add the seam allowance of 3/8 of an inch to the ends of the zipper and mark it. Lay down the lining fabric right side up. Place the zipper face up along the top edge of the lining so that the marks are lined up with the edges of the fabric. Then place the outer fabric on top. With the zipper foot on your sewing machine, sew down the edge with a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Backstitch at the beginning and the end. Make sure the edges of the fabrics and the zipper are all lined up as you go. When you get close to the zipper pull, stop, lift the needle and the presser foot, move the zipper pull up, and then continue sewing to the end. Open up the fabric to find the other side of the zipper and repeat, layering the fabric and zipper like before. Iron the seams where the fabric attaches to the zipper. To create a nice finished look, I'm going to top stitch about 1/8 of an inch from the edge. Again, you might have to lift the foot and reposition the zipper pull. Next, I'm going to sew the whole thing together. Make sure the zipper is about 3/4 of the way open, or else you won't be able to turn the pouch right side out. Position the fabric so the right sides of the outer fabric are facing each other, and same for the lining. I'm going to sew around the edges, but leave about a 3-inch opening at the bottom of the lining fabric. Make sure the fabric is folded so the edges of the zipper are pointing towards the lining side. Also take note of where the metal parts of the zipper are so you don't hit them with the needle. Put the regular foot back on your sewing machine. The trickiest part is sewing where the zipper is, so I like to start there. Start sewing a little before the zipper and sew across it. Continue sewing down the lining. When you reach the corner, lift the foot and pivot 90 degrees. Sew a little more, but remember to stop for the opening. Go to the other side of the zipper and repeat. Now come back to the outer fabric side and sew the rest of the way around. Clip all the corners close to the stitches. Also cut off any excess fabric in the ends of the zipper. Next, turn the pouch right side out by pulling it through the hole. Then push out the corners. close the hole, I'm just going to machine sew it since it's not going to be seen on the inside of the pouch. Tuck the lining inside the pouch. Give it one final ironing, and it's done. Here's the finished zipper pouch. They also make great gifts because they're so versatile. Thanks for watching this OFS project.